Good evening and welcome on 10 Bold and Paramount Plus to Campbelltown Stadium on Dharawal land for the Battle of the West, Macarthur FC versus Western Sydney Wanderers. Round 23 of the Isuzu UTE A-League season that is racing towards its climax, and the prospect of finals football still very much alive for these two sides. And with a growing injury list, Mile Sturjovski's made 3 changes from the side that lost 2-1 to Perth last time out. Captain and sidelined with illness, Tommy Uskok joins Shushnya, Davila, Azani, Arabouli and Mombwa on the treatment table. A 5-3-2 formation with Ollie Jones coming in for his first start of the season. Jake Holman replaces Jerry Skatardis in midfield, and Ali Ugla comes in attack. As we can see there, the bench, Jason Romero joining the likes of Al Hassan Toure and Jed Drew, Craig Noon, Moody Najjar, so attacking options on the bench for Mile Sturjovski. Well, Marco Rudan has also made 3 changes. Marcelo misses with suspension, so Tom Beedling comes in for him. Morgan Schneiderlin and Amor Layuni also come in, confirming the depth in this Wanderers outfit as Kusini Yengi and Yeni Bakuto join Oliver Bozanic on the bench this evening. Our referee is in the middle there, as we see Mile Sturjovski, his 10th match in charge this season since taking over. And the home record is much better than the away record, 4 consecutive losses on the road. Well, these two sides have met twice already this season, and it has been 2 resounding victories by 4-0 for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Another win to make it a hat-trick in this newest of Sydney derby matches between the Western Sydney Wanderers and the Campbelltown-based Macarthur Bulls. Andy Harper, 3 in a row, and Western Sydney will almost certainly be returning to finals football.
Robbie, very good evening. Beautiful, beautiful night for A-League men's football. Big result earlier tonight for Brisbane. It dispels any notion going into this weekend that they weren't involved in the run-in deeply. Now they can reasonably believe that they can get the points to make the 6. Can Macarthur do the same? They need to win here tonight. The pitch is beautiful. It's a good turnout as well, which is going to encourage the Macarthur owners and the fans in good numbers to support their team across the line. Hopefully they'll think for 3 points and to stay in the race. And the Wanderers, of course, with their eyes on a different prize, needing to bounce back after their loss last week.
The 10th game in charge since taking over from Dwight York for Mile Sturjovski. It's been 2 wins, 2 draws and 5 losses, but if you're looking for positives, and there is Mile Sturjovski on the right with Jacob Burns. 2 wins and 2 draws to go with just 1 loss at home under Mile Sturjovski here at Campbelltown Stadium. And another potential cause for hope and optimism is the fact that Western Sydney, in between 2 away wins over Sydney FC in big derby results, went 8 matches without an away win this season and have been knocked off at home last time out by Adelaide as well. They're missing Marcelo, their captain, who had a very eventful week, sent off, scored and signed a new contract. All in the week for Marcelo, who watches from the stands tonight. Nieuwenhof with Layuni trying to dribble his way through. Nieuwenhof now does likewise. Ninkovic with the captain's armband in the absence of Marcelo. Ball in and the header from the returning Socceroo, Brandon Borello.
A difficult attempt from Brandon Borello, but he's at the top of his game at the moment, I must say. Not expecting to see the Western Sydney Wanderers.
27-year-old Tom Beedling. His 5th start of the campaign. Nicely done, Amalfitano. Ninkovic for Traore. Borello. Simmons now. Oh, clever little pass for Amalfitano. Now Borrello. So dangerous and explosive in those situations, deflected behind corner.
They worked their way through nicely, the Wanderers. The field was broken up on halfway with a little ball over the top. And then Ninkovic turned beautifully to feed the ball out to the left, and then the momentum for the Wanderers started to build. Still required some pretty good pass and move, tight, nice control.
Simmons. Nieuwenhof. He's been amongst the goals recently, 3 in his last 6. As Simmons into the area, oh, he did that brilliantly. Went down under the challenge from Aspro Potamides. And everyone is asking the referee whether VAR should have a look at that or not.
I think they had two clips of him there. Firstly, it was Aguilar who just yanked him back. And then Jonathan Aspro steps into the way. I'm not sure that's going to be given as a penalty. There's the first one. If he goes down on the Aguilar touch, I reckon he does get a penalty. This is not completely cut and dried. It depends on the view of the angle. It's the pushing away with the arm which could have cooked Jonathan Aspro.
It's Macarthur side who are without their stars. Like Daniel Arzani, Uli Davila, their captain at the back, Tommy Uskok. The Georgian striker. There's Traore. That's fly from distance, and I think Philip Curto's dive was for the cameras as much as anything.
Well, it's always good, I think, to see Adama Traore.
De Silva for Rose. Lockie Rose tries it from distance and perhaps just spotting Lawrence Thomas a couple of metres off his line.
Well, it gives them great movement. It's something classic. Back to goal, played into their feet. Lockie Rose to roll and get advancing midfielders to join in, although it's part of it. But generally, it's his movement, his ability to get in behind defenders. We've seen a couple of great runs for him. And then when he does get the ball face forward and the goal's within range, his first option is, can I score? And I find it quite refreshing, actually, Robbie.
Schneiderlin again, over the top for Liuni. He gets a toe on it, in towards Borrello, and now the follow-up from Amalfitano. And that was a pretty good sighting on goal, all things considered, for more Roman Amalfitano.
Just off balance too as he hit it, but it was in great space, good range. Lovely little ball over the top, great run from Liuni. Frustrated with himself, understandably so.
I mentioned Western Sydney have the best defence in the division. It's a long ball for Liuni to chase, and he's got the better of Wietzer again. The cut back for Borrello. And we have become expectant of Brandon Borrello to do better in that kind of situation this season.
This is superb from Liuni. How dangerous he was in the Sydney Derby a couple of weeks ago. Puts it on for Brandon Borrello there, and the form he's in, I think everyone was expecting that.
Ninkovic for Traore. Back post. Wanderers have really been excellent in first halves so far this season as well. And they've won a very attacking free kick here. Miller claiming he took the ball and nothing more off Aidan Simmons.
Fouled him, although it should be said Aidan Simmons has lost his balance a few times tonight.
Setting up just Lockie Rose to cover that near post. It does look as though it's going to be heading across the face. In it comes Schneiderlin, forcing Curto to just try and get a hand on it, which he does in the end to good effect. Malfitano, clever pass for Ninkovic. Malfitano again, cross in. Defensive header by Jones, and how about that for a finish? Brandon Borello is scoring for fun. And from 20 metres out from goal, he's caught Philip Curto unawares, as well as the Macarthur defence. And Western Sydney have the lead.
Well, the resistance broken on the Harvey Norman replay. It's a good header out from Ollie Jones in a defensive sense, but he didn't have enough teammates who could react in time. Really strong from the youngster. Great touch and finish. Instinctive from Brandon Borello. Out of reach of Philip Curto. Strong work from Jones. Classy work from Borello. No chance for Curto.
The 9th goal of the season for Brandon Borello. The 4th time this season he's opened the scoring. Schneiderlin looking for the little flick. Simmons for Layuni. You mentioned powder keg that is Amor Layuni. Earlier he actually arrived from Norwegian football with a reputation for having just that. A very fiery character who had been out of favour the last season after a couple of great campaigns, but it's not him that's making the difference at half-time in Campbelltown. It's that man, the Socceroo, and very much the man of the moment in an attacking sense. Tried at centre-forward in the absence of Kirpic earlier this season. He has made that place his own, Brandon Borello, and it's his 9th goal of the campaign that separates the two sides here in the battle for the West. It's going for the moment the way the first two have this season, towards the red and black side of town. It's the Western Sydney Wanderers leading Macarthur FC by 1-0. Brandon Borello's goal, the difference from what was, in the end, transforming Western Sydney's domination onto the scoreboard, because they had the better of that opening half of football. Andy Harper, and for Macarthur, they do have attacking options on the bench, and probably it won't be too long before Mile Sturjovski heads to his substitutes to try and pull this one out of the fire, as Miller with the perfect start. So close, Jake Holman steering that ball just the wrong side of the post.
Well, there's a bit of tonic for Macarthur fans. A barnstorming run from Matt Miller. Just a little bit too much on that maybe for Jake Holman. Still a great chance. No one stopping Matt Miller in that move. Talk about raging bull.
Hello, guys. Yeah, it just feels like a matter of time before Wanderers get that second goal. I think if it does come, I think we could see the floodgates open a little bit. It's funny that they've beaten them 4-0 twice. They need a 4-0 here to jump Mariners. I don't think Macarthur are necessarily in the game. I don't think they're out of it. But that Matt Miller chance right in the first couple of seconds of the second half, I think they really needed that one. Here's a goal.
Off the crossbar. And Bakoto clears the danger. Now ball on the right. Al Hassan Toure, ball in. Bacchus. De Silva. Looking to try and make something happen. Is that the little spark that Macarthur need? Just something to show them the way forward. Jones with Vujica. Bacchus. It's as close as they've come. The header off the crossbar. And one for McGinn. They're in behind them again here. Rose in the middle. And they have their goal. less than a minute after being denied by the woodwork. And it's their captain this evening, Lockie Rose, who draws them back on level terms, who lights the way out of the darkness for Macarthur. Is their season still alive?
Well, the bells are ringing, and so you'd say yes on the Harvey Norman replay. Great change from Mile Sajowski. Two lovely balls from Al-Hassan Toure, both to Jake McGing. First, McGing's header hits the crossbar, but this in behind Adama Traore. Excellent work from Jake McGing, completely aware of what was on, and what was on was the skipper, Lavian Rose, who scores the equaliser here in Campbelltown.
Malfitano keeps it in play, only just. Oh, but he's given it away now. The Bulls have their tails up. Here's De Silva. Danny De Silva, little ball into McGing. Great save. Lawrence Thomas at his near post.
Well, didn't McGing do well to force the save? Awkwardly behind him. Lovely ball from Lockie Rose out to Danny De Silva, who just tries to get the ball through for a first-time finish. It's not going to make it through to Matt Miller, I don't think. So Jake McGing gets his back foot behind him.
Milanovic, here's that chance earlier. Now Cassini Yengi on the ball, turns inside. Yengi shapes to shoot, finds Borello, back for Yengi, clever little pass. Yengi, surely, side netting, he's missed it. Cassini Yengi did everything right except apply the finishing touch.
Well, look at this from Borello. I think most were expecting him to shoot first time, but he kept his cool to get around the keeper, and with everything done.
And he stays on just 3 goals this season, but here's Borello. Well defended by Ollie Jones, who's still out there, in fact. And he's done well, the kid.
Or are they playing with 12, Robin? What a great recovery. Ollie Jones had a good game. And just as Brandon Borello was going to try and secure the points for the Wanderers, the youngster, the big-framed youngster, denies the Socceroo.
Bozanic, in it comes, back post, Curto reaches high, pulls it down and rolls it out to Toure and says go for it. Bacchus, he won't have the pace to go with Simmons, but he's got the skill. Free kick for Bacchus, as there was no advantage. Macarthur have made all 5 changes. Wanderers still have one up their sleeve. As is Drew with Toure! In the first minute of stoppage time, having suffered, having resisted for 65 minutes of this match, Macarthur and Mile Sajowski have dipped into their bag of tricks and pulled out a winner.
Well, Bacchus won the free kick. It was taken as quickly as they could on the Harvey Norman replay. Great poise from Craig Noon. But what a substitutions performance from Al-Hassan Toure, the key architect of the equaliser, and now in all probability has hit the winner. There's the cross for Jake McGing earlier. Now it's Craig Noon zeroing in on the box. Al-Hassan Toure beats Lawrence Thomas at the near post to bring the house down in Campbelltown.
And now Traore. The 4 minutes of stoppage time are up. Aidan Simmons has done brilliantly. He's been absolutely collected by Craig Noone. Done a full aerial 360. He's quickly back to his feet because time is of the essence.
Well, he's cut him in half. Cut him in half, did Craig Noone. It was he got sent off after a minute or so in the last match between these two, which ended up a convincing win to the Wanderers.
The last chance for Western Sydney. Macarthur's ball in, the header, and it's in! And it's Brandon Borello again! As the Western Sydney fans go crazy. Marco Rudan can't quite believe what he's seeing. In the 6th minute of stoppage time, Brandon Borello takes his season into double figures. And in a match that they never looked like losing, they have suddenly managed to salvage a draw.
Well, the desperation of Craig Noone on the Harvey Norman replay gives away the free kick, and Brandon Borello with the most delightful header to angle across and away from Philip Curto and inside the far post to level the scores. Mile Sturjovski asked the match officials, where does the time come from? But they've salvaged it out of the fire, the Wanderers. What a game at Campbelltown.
The final whistle has rung. Well, the emotion of it all is written and etched on the faces of all the coaching staff, of the players. Shake of the hand between the two coaches. Brandon Borello, the hero in extremis for the Western Sydney Wanderers. After Lockie Rose and Al Hassan Toure looked as though they'd provided the home side with an unlikely victory. They can take credit for their performance and hope from the fact that finals football is still alive for them. The Western Sydney Wanderers, with that point, moved to within 2 of third-placed Central Coast Mariners. Desperate disappointment for the Bulls bench, who thought they'd seen them snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, only for the tables to be turned in the 6th minute of stoppage time. Another remarkable match of A-League football.